Well, welcome back, friends and family. So glad to have you again this evening. And what you might see in front of us is like normal. We got a lot of things laid out on the counter, we do, because we're going to be cooking up something that goes way back to my early childhood, all the way through my childhood, my teen years. Yeah, you might wonder what that's going to be. Well, what we have here, of course, is chicken a la king. For our fine friends at Swanson it is. And that's going to be our base. And if you don't know about chicken a la king, whether it's from Swanson's or you might remember it from diners and restaurants back in the 50s and 60s and 70s, it was actually a fancy or thought of meal served in all of them. And I'm sure, your grandmothers and your mother may have made some up from scratch. But yeah, since we're eating out of our pantry and our freezers, but this is all primarily from the pantry today, in the month of February, we're doing chicken a la king in a can. Yeah, and I know it's processed food. It's high in sodium, especially if you eat the whole can. But we won't be eating the whole can, just part of it. So what I'm going to be doing this evening is taking the chicken a la king instead of cream of chicken or cream of mushroom. I'll be adding some fresh celery. I've got some here from my shopping trip back on December the 8th. Still looking good. Still nice and firm and vibrant. We got us a small yellow onion. Be using about half of that. We got us a carrot. For a little more vitamins and a little more color. But hey, a special ingredient that used to be included back in the day, even in Swanson's and all the other recipes, was sliced pimentos. And if you're not familiar with these, pimentos, the pimento pepper that is a sweet red pepper. Yeah. Of course, we're going to be putting in some mushrooms. Got a small can here. I think that's a 4-ounce can. Just to give us a little more chicken, we're going to be using some chicken breast, canned as well. We're going to be putting in some garlic powder to add a little more chickeny flavor. Some of the Weilers, chicken bouillon, at least one. And I like black pepper. That peppery bite. So we're going to be using some ground black pepper. Now if you want to make it really spicy, heat it up a little bit, you can put in some of this crushed red pepper to taste. Give it a little bit of heat, especially on these cold, damp, chilly spring days. And maybe not, you may have to add a little bit of salt. And one of our sides, or maybe one of our bases, is going to be some mashed potatoes. Our other side tonight is just plain. The Surefine brand of golden, whole kernel, sweet corn. And that's pretty much it. So what I'm going to do now is get out the magic pot, start putting this all together. And what makes chicken a la king so versatile is also how many ways you can prepare it. And if you've had it, you might understand what I'm talking about. Yeah, you could have it over potatoes, right there. You can have it over rice. You can have it with egg noodles, if you like. You can make up casseroles. Or you can even do a baked potato and top it with chicken a la king, some fine cheeses, and even a little dollop of sour cream. There's just so many ways you can have it. It's so versatile. But let's get to cooking, okay? Well, we went ahead and peeled up our veg, Got Got our potatoes peeled up, carrots, dropped our celery in there. And just a little pro tip while we're talking about it. You know, keep your veggies in some water. Keeps them, hydrated. Got all of our cans all opened up. We're ready to go. So, we're going to go ahead, cut up our carrots. Ain't hard. We're just going to make them sort of bite-sized, You can cut them however big you want. I like them like this. Cut them in half, cut them in quarters. About like that. Give them a quick slice. It ain't hard. And if you want them bigger, or you want smaller, so you have more carrot goodness, you do that. Just that simple. Slide them off here on our little plate. Right there. Try not to let none get away. Grab the next one. Here again, just cut it in half. Like that. And one good thing about this meal, well, there's several good things. First of all, most of it's already cooked. Because we're using canned goods. The chicken a la king is of course cooked in the can, as you might imagine. The mushrooms are cooked in the can. It's all part of that canning process. And so is our can of canned chicken. The only thing that's going to require any cooking at all is just a little bit of fresh veg that we got going on. So we got our carrots there. Got them ready. We're just going to get out our celery that we had, complete with the leaves, by the way. Now normally I'd use at least one stalk, but all I had was the heart left. We're just going to give it a quick slice. Here again, just little small bite-sized pieces. Let that celery flavor, distribute and head on all through that magnificent Swanson chicken a la king. We're trying to do this rapidly. Some people like the little slicing and dicing part. Others do not. We're going to get it all. Only thing left is get the onion. Hold on, okay? Now, went ahead and peeled, cut in half that little small onion, yellow. And we're not even going to use that much. No, we're not. We're just going to use a quarter of it. Here again, we're just going to cut it up. Thin slices. See, on this, I don't want the onion to overpower my chicken a la king. No. Just give it another quick chop there. Make those pieces nice and small. Ain't hard. Don't gotta have frozen onions. Already pre-chopped. Onto the veggie plate that goes. There you have it. All the fresh, sliced and diced. Next thing we're going to be doing is chopping up our mushrooms a little bit. So, let me drain these real quick. And we'll get them all sliced up too. Now the only thing we got to do left is prep the mushrooms. And we got them all drained. But these are stems and pieces. You know, we don't get fancy here. Nope, but they're a little bit too big for what I like. So I'm just going to run the knife through them, in my little chef's knife, and give them a, just, you know, quick chop. Here again, it'd be nice to have some of them fresh ones. Yep. But here again, this ain't gourmet. This is down home. The way it was back in the day. Yep. I can't ever remember nobody in my family, unless they went out in the woods and gathered, which we did at times, ever having any fresh mushrooms on hand. Now I do from time to time. You know, I buy those little white button. Sometimes I buy those brown ones. I think those are called bella mushrooms. And occasionally, I might buy some of them there portobellos. Yeah. And I've used shiitake. Oh yeah, those are good too. I got some of them. But they're dehydrated. They're just not up to the task today. There we go. So 4-ounce can. And these are the Giorgio brand. These are fine mushrooms. I think they're Italian mushrooms. Right? Anyway. We'll give them another quick chop. Because here again, in the restaurant version of Old Chicken a la King, there was mushrooms. Just like there was those sweet pimento peppers. And I know some of you are probably looking up on that there, Mr. Google. Oh, Mr. Tom, there's supposed to be peas in there. No, you can do that, and I have. But I'm slap out of frozen peas right now at the moment. So those ain't going in there. But they have at times. Look at that. It was just that easy. So we got our mushrooms all chopped up, diced up. So they'll just float all around in our lovely Swanson's Chicken a la King. Now, we're ready to start throwing this here thing together, okay? Well, we got our pan heating up. Now this is a cast aluminum pan. Unlike cast iron, it's a thick, heavy pan. Yeah, she's thick, she's old, she got a lot of experience. But you still gotta let her heat up some. Not as much as cast iron. We're gonna pour in just about a tablespoon of olive oil. Yep, you gotta grease her up. Get her ready to cook. Make her happy. We're just gonna let that olive oil come up to where it's just starting to shimmer. You know, you can, do you know how to know that? Yeah, you'll see like a little shimmering. I don't know how to explain it. I guess you just gotta have experience and know. Yeah. Because, I mean, if you put your stuff in a cold pan, like your oil, and it don't sizzle when you put it in there, then everything you put in there immediately starts soaking up the oil. And we don't want that. But she's probably hot enough to cook now. Let's see what she says. We'll drop a few of these veg in there. Oh yeah, did you hear that? Did you hear that sizzle? We're just gonna drop it all right on in there. I just want to let you hear that sizzle. Yeah, baby. Woo! See the sizzle. I'm gonna ease that back off. Till, doesn't, help for me to tell you what my stove's at. I had it at a 4. We backed it down to a 3. We're just gonna let these vegetables start to soften up some. The carrots, the onion, the celery. Yeah. They're all in there getting nice and warm and toasty. Sort of getting comfortable. Like good friends on a cold winter night sitting around the fireplace. Yeah. That kind of comfortable. We don't want to cook them a lot. We're not caramelizing here. Because this is basically going into a sauce type dish. Ooh, I can smell the flavor already. So you watch that for a bit. Don't let it burn, okay? We've been sauteing our veg mix for about, 10 minutes. A medium low, if you care to know what my stove's doing. If it just gets a little brown, add a little more flavor. Okay? Now we're ready to add in the mushrooms. And that's canned mushrooms from the fine folks at Giorgio. And they've already been cooked through the canning process. They're all soft and edible right now. So they don't need much attention. No, they don't. Something to bear in mind. If you were using fresh mushrooms, you'd want to drop them right on in when you put your veg mix in. Let them cook down some. Absorb all the flavors, okay? Next up to bat, we're going to put in the canned chicken. Now, I'll say this about this canned chicken from Hormel. Chicken breast. Ooh, I know it's good. You know how? The kitty crew goes crazy for this. And I must say, they're not wrong. It's some of the best I've had. We're just going to pour it on in there. Right there. Scrape out any extra. Of course, we'll give it a little rinse. But the kitty crew, i.e. Gracie and Lilybit, they'll be getting a little bit of juice and remainder of the dregs of the chicken. We're just going to give that a little quick break up, the big chunks. And there's some big chunks in there, which is always good to see when you're using canned chicken. Now, you could have used some rotisserie. Yep, sure could have. Or your own canned, that you did homemade. So we got that all in there. Chicken, the mushrooms. We're going to be letting that come up to heat. Now would be the appropriate time to drop in our little chicken bouillon. And that chicken wasn't drained either. We'll put all that flavor right in the pot. We're going to put that there chicken bouillon in there. And just so we don't forget, we're going to put our sweet pimento peppers in there. We surely are, because we might forget those things. Yep. And that'd be a tragedy. Wouldn't be chicken a la king without those sweet pimento peppers. We Southerners, even though I'm Southern by choice and not by birth, ooh, we love our pimentos, especially in that pimento cheese. I'm telling you. I don't know if you can see it, but it's already looking colorful. Now we're going to add the seasoning. Now we're not going to load her up with a lot of seasoning. There is some in the chicken a la king from Swanson's, but I like pepper. So for now, I'm going to drop in a 1/4 teaspoonful. Yep. I know, that's enough for me. You don't like so much pepper? Drop you in 1/8. And then, we're going to put us in a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. Normally I would throw in some fresh garlic. And if you know your spice measurements, you'll know for every 1 clove, not head, but clove, fresh garlic, that is 1/8 teaspoon of garlic powder, or 1/4 teaspoon of minced. We're going to mix that all together. Yep. So we got that all coming together. Those flavors are going to start getting all happy, loving each other. And just to give it just a touch of warmth, because it's sort of been damp, chilly, and wet outside, we're just going to give it a couple of shakes of crushed red pepper. Not much. I wouldn't even say it was 1/8 teaspoon. Like I say, we can always add more later when we give it a taste test. The only thing left to do now is start adding in that delicious Swanson's chicken a la king. So what we're going to be doing is adding 3 cans. And this is where it gets so easy. It's a plop and drop. Yep. We're going to try to get as much out of these cans as we can. Now we're going to plop and drop number 2 in there. And number 3. You can already tell this is a big pot of chicken a la king. Another good thing about this, once I get her all whipped up, it ain't going to be that I'm going to be eating it all week. It's going to be, I'll eat it for a couple of days, and then I'll transfer it to a freezer bag in portions that I would like later on. I can just take out real quick, stick in the microwave, heat on up, and enjoy. So we got all 3 of those in there. I'm just going to give it a nice mix, get her all happy together, dancing to the same song. Yeah. Back when the kids were here and everything, we'd all be cooking together. We'd sing songs. We'd do a little jiggle and wiggle and have a good time. Always tried to make cooking fun for them. That's how you get them to cook, by making it fun. It's also how you get your kids to eat things they may never have tried before, because they help make it. Think about that when the grandkids come on by. And there, it's all in there. Now that we got it all in there, the only other thing left to do is let it all come up till it's all heated through. We already sauteed our veg mix. The mushrooms were already pre-cooked. So were those red sweet pimento peppers. Courtesy of the canning process. Makes it simple, easy, and convenient. And then of course, the canned chicken a la king is already cooked up too. So while this is simmering, getting all hot and happy and talking to each other, I've got to make up another thing, because that's how we're going to have this tonight, with something else too. And you'll see it. I'm not going to show you what it is or how I made it until another video. Yeah. So y'all watch that. Keep an eye on it. And let me know. Well, we've been letting this here cook for a while to cook down and thicken. Since we added a little more moisture, you know, the mushrooms, as they cook, they give off a lot of moisture. And then that can of chicken had quite a bit of those chicken juices in it. But thank you for watching it and stirring on occasion. It freed me up to where I could go ahead and get, you know, a couple of sides going on. What we'll be having tonight with it. It's just simple fare. Yep. One of my favorites. Woo, steaming hot buttered mashed potatoes. Simple, but also yummy. And then, something you don't see every day. And something I'm going to top with that luscious a la king. Yeah. Home baked biscuits right there. Look pretty darn good if I do say myself. Don't they? Yep. Another thing. Final little side we're going to be having is some of that golden sweet kernel corn. So the only thing we got to do now is get it all put together. I've already taste tested it, and it's as close to perfect as I can make it. You can just taste a little bit of garlic, or just a tiny bite of pepper, and a touch of spice from that red pepper. No salt was needed. Of course, as you know, there's plenty in that Swanson chicken a la king. If you can find it and sodium's a problem with you, you might want to get the low sodium. Just saying. Yep, 57% of your daily requirement if you eat the whole can. Of course, we're not going to be eating the whole cans. No, we aren't. I'm going to stretch this over several meals, eating it in various ways until I'm tired of it, and then the remainder will be portioned off in freezer bags, stuck in the freezer for those quick grab and heat meals later. You know, like when I'm working on the house, or out in the yard and gardens, what have you. So hey, let me get some plates, and we'll put this all together, and we'll show you our final plate. And of course, give it the final taste test. Y'all all good with that? So, let's take one of these here fine biscuits. We're just going to cut it in half. Yep, it's not hard. There we go. That's going to be our base for the chicken a la king. Right there. Put them back on the stove. Now let's get some taters. Woo. Nice and steamy hot. Put a nice little dollop of them down. Not a lot. We don't need a lot. Got to put some butter on there. Oh, corn's ready. It was over in the nuclear oven. Just take some of this sweet cream butter. Nice pat of it. Set on our taters there. Let me go get that corn. Ooh, it's toasty too. Got our corn. Give us a nice ladle of it. There we go. We'll put a little butter on that too. Butter makes everything better. I'm telling you. Now, for the star of the show, the chicken a la king. Ooh, it's thickened up nicely. Boy, you talk about a meal stretcher. There we go. And that's it right there. Only thing to do now is give it a taste test and see how it came out. Okay? Well, y'all, it's getting late. I'm getting hungry. You know what I mean? So let's give this here chicken a la king on a nice, fluffy, warm biscuit a taste and see how we did. Okay? Yep. That tastes like down home. Just like great grandmother made. Or mom. And I have many times. It's quick and easy. No. We added a bunch of stuff to it. Just to make it all the more better. But I'll tell you this. I've had a mini can. Just dropped in a old pot, heated up, ate over all kinds of things. And if you're watching this now, in a previous video I asked you, what can you do with a can of Swanson's chicken a la king? And you said many of the same things I've come up with, as well as many new ideas. And I appreciate that. And if anybody watches the video and wants to know what everybody does, they'll learn more in the comments below the video. So hey, I'm starving. I need to eat. So until I, the kitty crew, gracing a little bit, see y'all on that next video. Y'all take care. Stay safe. May God bless you as you bless those in your lives. Goodbye for now. Woo! This is pretty tasty. And ever so cheap. Yeah. Almost anybody can do it. Oh. Oh. You still with me? Pardon me eating. But I'd also like to wish you a happy Valentine's Day. Wherever you may be, if you so celebrate and desire. Later on. Potatoes need a little pepper. So does the corn. Just a touch of salt. There we go. Time to eat.